Hey everyone, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah. Hi everyone. So I welcome you all to Learn with GDSC session 2, Acing DSA at interviews. And we are the interview preparation circle. Yeah.
Should I start?
Yeah, I think we can start.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Khushbu. I am a third year BTech IT student at IGDTUW and an IP mentor at under GDSC and also I am an upcoming intern at JPMC. Over to you, Shrankla.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Shrankla and I'm an incoming intern at Microsoft. And I am also a GHC scholar, GitHub campus expert and stuff. Over to you, Nandini.
Hello, I'm Nandini. I'm also a third year BTech student currently, and I'm going to be interning at Uber for the coming summer. Over to you, Muskan.
Hi everyone, I'm Muskan and I'm also a third year BTech student and I am an upcoming intern at Goldman Sachs this summers. Over to you, Khushbu.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot to mention my name. I am Vishaka Bansal and I am the circle manager for interview preparation circle for this year. And I have interned at Microsoft in summers, and I have received a pre-placement offer from Microsoft itself, and I'll be joining Microsoft this summer. You can start now, Khushbu.
Okay. So, why is interview preparation important? Can we have some answers in the comment section? What you all think why it is important? Yes, everyone. We need to make the session interactive, then only it will be beneficial for all of us. But what do you think why it is important? Why there is such a session? We have why so many sessions are held on this topic? Why it is important? Can we have some answers in the chat box?
Guys, we would really appreciate if you make this session interactive. It's for you.
Okay.
Okay, Kushbu, we have to get the hang
Yeah.
of the interview.
How the interview will go? Okay. Can we have some more answers?
Come on, guys.
To avoid nervousness is a major factor, yes.
Please be interactive. Can we have some more answers? Okay. To be familiar with the process and environment. Okay.
Okay, mostly answers around to be more confident, to feel confident.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, I think we can move to the next slide.
Yeah. Okay. So it is basically important, as many of you rightly said, it increases our confidence. It also improves your comfort. Whenever we give a mock interview, it is basically a type of mock drill only. And in the real interview, since we have faced so much mock interviews, it is not really a pressure on the real interview day. Next thing, it helps us understand your body language, how our body language behaves. It is a major factor while being a real interview. And next one, it enhances your communication skills. It prepares you well for the real interviews. So interviews are very much important, and interview preparation is very much important to prepare us for the D-Day. Any mentor can add anything?
Yeah. So the basic idea for interview preparation is that learning how to code a DSA is one thing, and then putting your thoughts across, whatever you're thinking, is a different skill in itself. You have to know how to think out loud when you're interacting with the interviewer. So that is one thing. Also, Ishita wrote in the chat to be ready to code in a timed environment. Now, this is very important because in a frame of 45 minutes, sometimes you have to do one hard question or like two medium questions. So you cannot afford to waste time there. Okay. So, Khushbu, you can carry forward.
Yeah. So basically, interview preparation is basically what distinguishes us from the other candidates, since a lot of candidates have already cleared the coding round, so and we have also cleared the coding round. So now what our behavior in the interview is actually what differentiates us from the other rest of the candidates. So we need to prepare well for the interview. It is also a major factor in deciding our role in the company. Next we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so Muskan, over to you.
So now let's talk upon what is the right time for interview preparation. Do you guys have any guesses? You all can write that in the chat box if you have any opinion on that. What is the right time for interview preparation according to you? Anyone? Okay. So I think ideally one should start preparing for interviews in her third or fourth semester, so that like in college we are taught some core subjects in our third and fourth semester which are also asked in our interviews. So while preparing for like the coding part, we can also prepare for those core subjects in our third and fourth semester. So ideally you guys should start preparing for interviews in your second year. And next slide, Khushbu. Yeah, so there's a specific timeline one can follow. So in your second year, you start, and by the time you're practicing DSA, you can also give contests in your second year. And then once you're done with your second year, companies come usually for the internships. So that'll be beneficial if you start early. And next slide, please, Khushbu. Now let's look upon the basic criteria one needs to prepare for acing a coding interview. The first and the foremost step is to choose a language in which you have to code. So choosing your language is the primary step. And once you're familiar with that coding language, you can start practicing questions on data structures and algorithms. If somebody is a beginner and doesn't know how to start and from where to start, you can also go to this famous website known as Pep Coding, and you can follow its free resources. We'll be dropping the link to the website in the chat, and you can see. The next important factor is the core subjects. Usually, in the interviews, one can be asked questions on the core subjects, and the majorly asked core subjects are OOPS, that is object oriented programming, then DBMS and OS and DCCN. So DBMS is database management systems, and OS is operating systems. DCCN is computer networks basically. So as I said earlier, in your second year you have a few subjects, so you can prepare along practicing the coding part. And then you can also follow some famous YouTube playlists from Knowledge Gate and Smashers, Nesso Academy. All these are available free of cost on YouTube, so you can also give it a try. And lastly, to get selected for an interview, of course, there's a resume that goes first to the company. And to make an impressive resume, you should uh, have some projects which are impressive in itself. So, other things can be building good projects, and then be active and participating in various opportunities For example, there are various contests organized by Google that you can give, like Kickstart and Code Jam. And similarly, there are many opportunities by other companies. Like one is Microsoft Engage, that's for second year students. Then there is this Flipkart GWC. All these opportunities enhance your resume. So these things you can keep in mind. Yeah. Next slide.
Muskan, just one more thing. Someone just wrote in the chat that the right time to prepare for interviews is a month before interviews. Now, this is one of the major misconceptions. It's not a month before the interviews, and you have to prepare the core subjects well before time so that you get the hang of it, like Muskan said. So it basically begins in the starting of your second year only. Okay.
Okay,
Yes, I
so
agree with Nandini.
now let's move to the other part. Like, what are the other factors that matter apart from your technical skills? Definitely, technical skills do matter how you perform in an interview, but what can be the other factors? Can we have quick response in the comment section?
I'm sure you guys are aware that DSA is not the only factor.
Okay, I see some answers. Khushi says soft skills. Again, problem solving. Ishita says aptitude. And Tanish says the way we carry ourselves. And Aarti says speaking skills and confidence. You guys are absolutely right. This is seen by an interviewer, how you are performing. So let me just break it into points and speak. The first is the only formal communication. It has been seen several times. The interviewer tries to be friendly with you so that you break your nervousness. But you should not be very friendly with him, and you should only have the formal communication with him. The next is you should listen carefully and while catching hints. So this is a very, very important part. You don't know, like, whatever the interviewer might speak has some hints in it, right? So you should listen very, very carefully. Each and every statement the interviewer speaks makes some sense, might be helpful for you, right? The next point is think out loud. Okay, so whatever you are thinking, suppose interview gives you a question and you are thinking like how to solve that, but the interviewer doesn't know what you are thinking, where you are going, what approach you are thinking of. So that is why you should speak out loud. You should think out loud. Basically, whatever you are thinking, you should just speak so that the interviewer knows where you are going, and he may also guide you whether you are going in the right direction or not. Next is for ask for test cases. You should ask for the test cases. Like, you can definitely have your own test cases, and then you can ask the interviewer for the test cases. Next is know your resume well. You should always mention absolutely right points in the resume, and you should know it very, very well. Next is add relevant projects. You should add whatever the projects you are adding, they should be relevant, and you should know absolutely from the beginning to the end. You should know everything in that project, whatever you have put, whatever that is involved in the project. So you should definitely add relevant projects, and you should know them very well. Next is again ask for the feedback, like how you have performed, what is how I should go further, what can be improved. So feedback definitely improves. Also, you should prepare some questions to be asked in the end of the interview. Mostly the interviewer asks like, any questions do you have for me? So you can ask few questions like, how long have you been in the company? Has your role changed since you have been here? Few questions like that. Keep it prepared beforehand. The next is personality and confidence. Like, this thing many of you were speaking about, that personality and confidence are also judged when you are performing in an interview. So any mentors want to add more points?
No, I guess you've covered all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
If, I'd like to stress upon the fact that communication is important, but listening is also important. It's more respectful towards the interviewer that you're listening to them and catching hints out of whatever they're speaking. Also, you should not be very boastful in your resume. Whatever you're writing, you should know the meaning of each and every word. It's not like to make it appear more intellectual, you're using words that you don't know about. That gives a very negative impression if they catch upon it. So that's something I'd like to stress on.
Yeah. So with that, let's move to the next slide. Okay, now we'll see upon what are the common misconceptions that we have regarding interviews. The first, CGPA does not matter. So how many of you think that CGPA does not matter? A quick response in the comment section. Yes or no? Okay, I'm assuming you all think that CGPA does matter. So let me tell you that you are right, that CGPA does absolutely matters. You can't think of like college माने के बाद ऐश है, कोई ऐश नहीं होती है. You should matter. Yeah, okay, I see your response now. Sorry. CGPA matters a lot. It matters a lot. It does for on campus, right? Yes, yes, it does matter. So CGPA definitely matters, and you should be. I don't tell you to excel in your class, but yeah, you should have a decent CGPA, at least 8 or like near around 8, above 8. Because I have seen for most of the companies for basically electronics and mechanical branch, more than 8 CGPA is preferred. So yeah, near around 8 CGPA you should maintain. The next is you get ample time after coding rounds. So one of you have said, I think also, like you can prepare for interviews 1 month before. This is absolutely wrong. You don't get enough time after coding rounds. The moment, suppose today I have my coding round, the interview is scheduled tomorrow. So you won't get enough time to prepare for that coding round, for that interview. So you should start preparing beforehand. The next is only solving the question is important. Few people have this misconception that if I have solved a question, I'm selected in the company. No, you are wrong. That's absolutely wrong. If I have seen students who have solved a question still not getting into the company, and I have also seen students who did not solve the question but were like near around the solution and have got into the company. So this point is very important. It doesn't matter whether you fully solve the question or not, but your approach, how you're thinking, and what you're trying to implement is what matters. The next is variable names do not matter. So while we are practicing, we have a common trend, like we often take the variable names as X, Y, Z, A, B, C, whatever. Like, but don't do this thing in the interview. Take proper names. For example, if it is a roll number, take it as R and O, not as A, B, or C. Right? So take proper variable names. Next is directly going for the most optimized approach. So this is also a major factor. Again, you might know the solution, you might know the most optimized approach, but you'll not go through that. First, you will have to explain the interview, the brute force, the naive approach you know, and then slightly you will go towards the most optimized approach. The next is core subjects only matter for CGPA. Again, this is a very common misconception. Core subjects do not matter, as we have already seen that core subjects do matter in interview, and most of the interviews do ask about the core subjects. Okay, mentors.
Yeah, I would like a point like core subjects not only matters for the interview, but as a computer science engineer, we must know, it is our responsibility that we know the core subjects. So we can't say like I don't know about paging or operating system. We must know like what we are studying. It does matter. It is a respect for our profession that we must know our core subjects. So that is what I want to add.
Okay, Ishita has asked like the for companies like Google, Microsoft, FANG basically, is 8 plus CGPA okay or around 9? So first of all, please don't focus the companies. Whatever company you get, it's absolutely like every company is paying you heavily, and I think like around 8 CGPA is good if you are from CS or IT. And if you are from any other branch like electronics and mechanical, I think around 8.5, right?
I would also like to add on this. Uh,
Mhm.
Talking about in particular Google programs, you will need 9 plus CGPA, but don't, as Shankla said, don't focus on the company. Every company is good. Just focus on your skills, on upskilling them, and it would be good.
Also, when we say that solving the question completely is not important, it does not mean that you don't have to solve the question. You should always focus on solving the question, but you should always begin from the brute force approach because the interviewers are looking for the thinking skills that you have. If you directly go for the most optimized approach, then they'll know that you have seen the question earlier or you're familiar with the question, so you've memorized the solution. That should not be the impression at the end of the day.
Okay, so all the best, guys, and I think we can take up the questions from the comments now. Okay, so Manasi is asking, do core subjects include first year subjects too? Manasi, no core subjects like in first year. I think you have physics, chemistry, and maybe bio, environmental science, something like that. So no, core subjects don't include that. Core subjects are basically computers. Letter C might be asked. I think C might be asked, but not others.
As we
Okay.
already listed, the core subjects are mainly the four core subjects:
Yeah.
operating system, DBMS, computer networks, and object oriented programming. You'll get in future semesters.
Okay. Aarti has asked, the how does a competitive programming background affect our interviews? Any of the mentor would like to take up? Okay, I'll answer
Okay,
that.
so
Basically, okay, you can
Okay.
continue.
Cool. So basically, competitive programming just helps us improving our skills on problem solving. That in a span of this much time, we can reach to the solution. So of course, competitive programming in an interview helps you in a way that you can more clearly and maybe more efficiently reach to the solution. And because you have already that practice of practicing questions in that pattern. And other than that, on various sites like Code Chef or Code Forces, when you have a decent ranking, you can also include that in your resume, which in a way boosts your resume and gives you an edge over other candidates. You can add Shrankla.
Yeah, you have, I think, mentioned all the points. Competitive programming definitely helps you in solving that first round that happens, that is a coding round. Uh, that you can, yeah, definitely timing matters in solving that round. And if you are from someone who has done competitive programming, you might be able to solve that question quickly. So that's an advantage. Next, we have the question from Khushi. She's asking, so how to start for interviews from first year? Any mentor?
Okay, so from first year, if you want to start preparing for the interviews, then you should start with DSA to start from the very basic. And in first year, you have a subject C, so you can study that carefully. It'll enhance your resume also, and it's good for interviews too. So that are the two things. Other than that, the core subjects in second year are more than enough. So for the first year, you can focus on DSA only.
Okay, now Aarti has asked, do they allow pen and paper during interview? Ishikati, you might want to take that. You must have given more interviews than us.
they do allow, but mostly what happens is they have the interactive surfaces, interactive tools. Like if my interview is in online mode, so we'll have a screen sharing kind of thing. Maybe it will be a Google Docs or anything, and we'll have to think over that Google Docs. We have to type whatever we are thinking. And in case of offline mode, yes, they do allow pen and paper during the interviews. So that depends upon what will be the case with you.
Hmm. I think that answers your question, Aarti. Next, we have from Vanshi. How much time are we given for the coding rounds? Uh, Tusharika, will you like to take that up?
Yeah, it depends on the company that we're giving the test for. So basically, there are some rounds for 2 hours or maybe 1 or 1.5 hour. It totally depends on the company.
And for
Yeah.
each coding round, we have different sections. Like some companies
Yeah.
prefer programming questions, some prefer MCQ type questions. So it completely depends company to company.
Yeah, even I have found like aptitude based questions and essay type questions in the company rounds. So you can expect that as well. Okay,
And for
next we have.
practicing, for your own practice, the easy level questions you should give like 15 to 20 minutes. For medium, 30 minutes are more than enough. And for hard level, 40 minutes you should take as an average. Nothing more than that.
I think even interview bit has like a timing sort of thing to solve the questions. So you can even practice that. Okay, next question is from Khushi. Is it necessary to take paid courses for DSA and CP from sources like Coding Ninja, or with free sources also we can do it? I think Khushbu will be the best one to answer this.
Yeah, actually, I have also not taken any paid courses for DSM. There are ample of resources on YouTube, or you can refer many other resources on, like we have so many GitHub repositories also, where they have explained each and every code along with the time complexity. So, if you want a paid course, then it is necessary like for a disciplined manner. If you want, like I won't be any discipline, or I need a mentor who can guide me for each and every step, then you should go for the paid courses. But if you think that I will be able to cope up with the pace and with the pressure, so you can go with the free resources also. That won't make any difference, because at the end you need to, how many questions you practice a day is is what really matters the most. I think
Yeah,
I
you can
have answered
opt
it.
for both, like whatever works for you. Okay, it's
Yeah.
the same near around question is by Akansha. Akansha, I hope that answers your question as well. Next, we have from Khushbu. EC core subjects don't include. I think we all are from CS and IT.
I think ECE also covers the DBMS and I think object oriented programming subjects. So yeah, that includes core subjects and
Yeah, and
you
also I
have
think
to.
if you are looking for a job for an electronics, if that's a electronics company, they might ask you EC core subjects, but otherwise they'll mostly ask CS fundamentals like OOPS and OSDBMS. Okay, next we have Manasi. By which semester should we be done with the DSA? Muskan, will you like to take that up?
Okay, so there's nothing like being done with DSA. Till date, we guys are practicing DSA for our placements. So I think as long as you are in the company and maybe after that, you must be practice DSA for your problem solving skills. But like you should start early. As I said earlier, you can start in your second year, but there is no as such deadline for a particular like for ending with DSA. I hope that clears. If somebody
Yeah.
wants to add, they can add.
Yeah, I think like you should not follow what others say, like whatever you feel. If you haven't done computers in your 11th and 12th, definitely it will take more time to complete TSA. If you have done, you will be able to finish it earlier. So it depends person to person when the person completes their DSA. Okay, next we have from Priya. Will a placement start in fourth year or after a fourth year end?
I can pick
Ishika
this up.
ji.
Yeah. So the placement scenario in our college is like you'll get companies at the end of second year, not fourth year, and not the end of fourth year. It will be at the end of second year, and those companies will be for your internships, 2 months internships, and after you are done with your internship, summer internship, at the end of third year, you'll again get the companies, and those will be for your placements also, not just at the end of second year and at the end of fourth year. throughout the 4 years of college, you will get ample amount of opportunities, I must say. Even in your first years and second year, you will get the opportunities. There are many companies that do visit for their different programs, and as we already mentioned, you must be active in those opportunities, because many of those opportunities are like hiring bases, so you won't have to appear for interviews, and you will be directly into the internships and placements. So you'll get opportunities throughout 4 years, I would say. Anyone wants to add?
Yeah, I agree. I think Priya, that answers your question. We can move forward with the Akriti. Could the coding rounds be conducted for multiple people at the same time? Nandini?
Yeah, so the coding rounds are conducted for all people at the same time only. As in, like, if a company is visiting, then the coding round is for the entire batch. Whoever are actually setting for the test, all of them sit together. That answers your question.
Yeah. Again, I think that we have last question from Priya. Does society have any role in our resume for interview? So, Sharika, would you like to take that up?
Okay, so society, as in like, what do you mean?
I
I
College
guess
think
she's
the
talking
societies.
about the
college
college societies.
societies.
Yeah, I think she's talking
Okay,
about
okay,
the role
yeah.
like coordinator and
It,
something like that.
it totally depends on the type of society. Like there are some tech societies which involves in making like some competitions in the tech background, whereas there's some societies like the dance societies and the other societies. So the tech societies do matter in the resume. They don't hold much of a value, but yeah, they do matter in the resume.
And even the non-tech societies are like the extracurricular sections in your resume. They fill up the extra co-curricular sections of your resume.
Yeah,
Yes, like
even I
having
think like when you are in your first or second year, you don't have much to write about in resume. So that is the time when you can mention about societies and the roles you have played there.
It basically
Also,
reflects upon you that you can multitask and you can manage stuff.
yeah.
It's like
Uh,
having a good position of responsibility in your resume gives you an edge that yes, you're good at managing and executing stuff. So they might matter.
Also, along with the resume, they help in enhancing your personality. They help you build you as a person. So they are very much important in societies. Basically, you don't only you learn how a team works, how a project works in the team. So all these skills are built along the way. You will not get time to have a class and take some group discussion type, but these societies will gradually help you to build those skills automatically. So they are important for resume as well as for your own development. I think that answers the question.
Yeah, and I think with that we can take the last question from Khushi. Dean, first year, I guess we need to hunt for companies ourselves or college provides us. Okay, any of the mentor? Okay, I'll answer that. I think you need. I don't know why you're focusing on companies. First of all, first year, if you have basic skills, you can definitely go for companies. But if you don't have skills, you can go for the training and the project program. Like there are few companies out there which have their training program, and after that, you build a project upon that skill. So you can definitely try that out. Also, you can take up any course, Udemy course maybe, and learn upon the skill and then build a project yourself. So I think even that helps. Okay, Ishikadi, I think then we can wrap it up if they do not have
Uh,
any more questions.
yeah, quick response I want. If anyone has any more doubts left, or
Yes,
you
we
can
can
also
wait for
give the
2 3
feedback.
minutes.
Yeah, you can also give the feedback for the session, or how was it helpful for you or not. Yes, guys, please say something in the comments. Yeah, sure, Kirti, you can ask. Thank you, Priya.
Okay, I can see still there are people viewing. You can quickly put upon your feedback out whether you like the session or not. And we have a question from Kirti. Like how many people are doing AI? Is it worth doing AI and ML course? Okay. I don't know why you are more driven towards AI and ML. If you think that is a great, like fascinating field, you should definitely go and check that out. But you can definitely try many other fields as well. Also, GDSC has many other domains like web development, Android development. So you can go with that as well. Like AI and ML is not the only domain. Any mentor would like to add upon?
Yeah, you should actually choose the field that fascinates you and not others. Like if the Sharika is doing web development, it should not be like I am also doing web development. I can go for AR, VR or MLAI or anything I like. So, and that is just because you should get the relevant projects for your resume point of view, and they'll definitely help you in the interviews. Like you can talk about them, you know about these skills. These are like upskilling your skills itself.
And in the
And
first year,
instead,
you have ample time to explore. So you can actually explore the domains that suit you best and go forward with your interest.
yeah, but try to be like focus on a single course apart from doing like 10 to 15 courses and just knowing the basic introduction. That won't really help in the long run. So you should stick to one course and complete it fully and understand that fully.
Thank you so much. It was a very informative session. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
guys,
we
for
have
joining.
so many comments.
Thanks a
Uh,
lot, guys.
Thank you so much for joining in. And if you have any more doubts, you can definitely ping any of us on LinkedIn. I think we'll be happy to help you.
Definitely.